This lesson is on autocorrect. There's a feature built into Microsoft Office Word called autocorrect that corrects mistakes as you make them. Now, it doesn't correct every mistake, which is why, of course, we need spell check. However, certain very common mistakes, as you make them, get corrected. For example, I forgot to type capital A to start a sentence here, so when I tell Word that I'm done typing the word with a space or with a comma, it will automatically add a capital letter. And if I forget to use a capital I, it'll fix that as well. So there are several predetermined mistakes that it will fix as you're typing. However, it won't fix all of them. I want you to see and know that this exists because you can edit it, you can change it, you can add words to it, and it could be very, very worthwhile for you. So in order to access the autocorrect menu, you go back to File here, and then you go to Options, and it's in Proofing. So it was File, Options, Proofing, and it's right at the very top here, and you can go see exactly what options are there. So right off the bat, it tells you at the top what gets fixed. So if you inadvertently type two capital letters because you put the shift key down too long, it'll fix that. If you forget to capitalize, as we saw, the first letter of a sentence, it'll fix that. If you forget to put a capital T on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it'll fix that. If you have your cap locks on, it'll automatically fix that, give you a chance to turn it off as you're typing. And of course, replace text as you type. In other words, fix these mistakes as I make them. Now, down here, it looks like a small list, but it's really not. It's quite big. It will replace whatever is on the left with whatever is here on the right. So you can go through this list if you want. And all of these mistakes, I do this a lot, the word across. For some reason, I think it's got two C's. It'll replace it automatically with one C. All right, so all of these mistakes will be fixed. So if you type what's on the left, it will replace it automatically with what's on the right. It doesn't even ask you, it just changes it. The next thing I want you to know is that you can add things to this list. For instance, there may be certain words that you struggle with and you misspell them all the time. And rather than have to run through spell check, you want to add that word to the list. Now, I'm embarrassed to admit, though, some of my mistakes that I make, but I've always struggled with the word business, and I want to spell it like building. So I want to spell it this way, which is not correct. So on my computer here, I'm going to add, if I misspell business, can you please fix it for me? And that's the way you spell business. So I'm adding this mistake to the list. And now anytime I type this, it will be corrected. Another neat thing here is the fact that you can replace things with other things. It can really save you some time. For instance, the school at which I teach is called Welland Centennial Secondary School. I have to type that quite often. And in order to save me time, I'm going to say, if I type WC, I want you to replace that with and I want to add that to the list. I also worked for the District School Board of Niagara. Also, quite a long thing to type. So if I type DSBN, or I'm going to change that. Now make sure you spell this properly, of course. Now, I actually use DSBN quite often, so I'm just going to say DSB. If I type DSB, give me District School Board of Niagara. You can add your name in here. Just be careful that you don't replace an actual word. Like if your name was Anthony Smith, don't replace AS with Anthony Smith because you're never going to be able to type the word as. So just be careful. Great tool, easy to use. So now that I've added those things, I'm going to demonstrate in an actual Word document. So as I type autocorrect helps, I attend WC. Okay, now it doesn't do it right away. As soon as I hit space, though, there it is, which is part of the DSB. All right, save yourself some typing. Of course, this mistake wasn't in autocorrect, so I would have to change it the traditional way. Right-click change it, done. So autocorrect, once again, is in File, Options, Proofing, and Autocorrect. Not something you'll use every day, not knowingly, but it is working back there for you every day.